Ashley, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yay! Welcome, welcome. Guys, we're here for Set Real Talk Tuesday. I have Ashley Nicole, star of Wags Miami, joining
Hey,
us. She is in Miami.
I'm in Miami and I'm loving it because I know y'all cold.
Oh, right? Guys, we're sorry if you're bearing the 20 degrees or below and snow. It is
Right.
sunny in South Florida, and you are with child.
Yes.
Glowing. She's 18 weeks pregnant, guys, and joining us for Set Real Talk Tuesday. Ashley, I wanted to have you on because we see that you're doing some amazing things.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Guys, Ashley has been married now 8 months
Yes.
and has a son, Deuce, carrying a child. We'll get to find out the sex, I guess, at some point.
Yes, at some point.
Mom's the word. And then, you have your hair care line,
Yes.
reality TV, guys.
Yes.
Ashe,
Yes.
we want to find out a little bit more about you. We're looking at moms out here that are mompreneurs like yourself and juggling it all. Tell us, from the start, where you're from, where you grew up. Let us find out a little bit more about Ashley Nicole.
Okay, sure. So I was born in Vegas. My dad, he was in the Air Force. So we were stationed out there. We were stationed from there overseas in Italy. And then we ended up being in Atlanta for the majority of my childhood. So I claim ATL. I love Atlanta. My family's still there. So I'm always, in Atlanta, and it's very close to Miami. So it's it's just great to have family, not right up under us, but just a short plane ride away. Um, so yeah, then I went to college at Tuskegee University. It's in Alabama, which is also not too far from Atlanta. I actually, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I got an ROTC scholarship to go to Tuskegee University. So once I graduated, I got commissioned as an Army officer, and now I'm actually a captain. And I know it's kind of like weird because, you do see me on reality TV and you see me y'all on Instagram and social media, but I put on a uniform, I put on the boots, and I go out there and I lead my soldiers.
Nice.
Um, yeah, so that's college. And then while I was in college, I met my husband in Atlanta. I would drive from Tuskegee and I would go to this club. I was a waitress there, and he came one night with all of his teammates looking fine, but I was all about business.
Okay, so wait, so how far is the drive from Tuskegee to Atlanta?
It's like an hour and a half. It's not
Okay,
bad.
so not bad. So you guys would drive from Tuskegee to kick it in Atlanta, major city. So that's the closest city.
Yeah, for sure. We were
Okay.
up back and forth all the time. hmm
Okay, so you're waitressing, you're in college, and you meet Philip.
I met Philip, and I was not interested. I was not interested at all because I constantly had guys trying to talk to me because I was in a club,
Hmm.
so I couldn't talk to every guy that tried to talk to me. I couldn't give my number out to every guy.
But not just that you're in the club, you're in the club and you're gorgeous.
Right, I was cute.
Okay, so you're gonna have action. You had some action, and you just, you could decide. You could be selective.
Right, yeah. So that night he caught me on a nope. I'm busy tonight. If you're not trying to order a drink, then keep it moving.
Making your coins. We get
So
it.
yeah, so I definitely curved him the first
Mhm.
night he tried to talk to me. And then he came back another weekend and I wasn't working. I just happened to be up there that night and I had a couple drinks. I was a little bit more friendly. And I was like, oh, I remember you. And from there, we just kind of struck up a good conversation. And then after that, we were kind of just inseparable.
Nice. So look, guys, another example of loving the club is possible. If you're just joining us for Set Real Talk Tuesday, we have Ashley Nicole, star of Wags Miami, joining us. Just
Mhm.
telling us where she grew up, how she's ROTC, went to Tuskegee University, educated, met her husband, and then what?
So after I met Phil, like I said, we were inseparable. And I ended up following him to whatever city he went to, because that's just football life.
Was he playing when you met him?
He was playing. He was 1 year in.
Okay.
So he was playing for the Indianapolis Colts. That's where he got drafted. And he would actually, that's how I knew he was serious, because he was doing the most to come see me. He would play in his games on Sunday, and then, you know, they would have Victory Mondays off. So he would fly down to Atlanta after his games and then drive to Tuskegee to see me.
Okay, so ladies, I need you to grab your pen and your paper. We have Ashley Nicole from WAGS Miami joining us, and here goes a major key. If he's interested in you, he will show you effort. Yes. Major effort.
It doesn't matter where you are. And he pretty much did that throughout our dating years. I mean, the Army would send me to some of the most like out of the way places, and he would find an airport and rent a car and drive to come see me. I mean, I've been in the country in South Carolina, and he surprised me. He just showed up. I was calling him. He wasn't answering the phone. It's because he was on the plane trying to come see me. And next thing I know, he's knocking on the door. I've been in the boonies, and he's made a way to come find me. So,
and there you have it. So what was it? What do you think it was? Okay, so initially you say you curved him. And this is some advice for those girls who, I mean, it's glamorized, this baller life. You know, you want to be a WAG. So many girls, we see WAGs from LA to Miami. Now Atlanta, you know, has a television show on E, guys. And so this lifestyle that you have is glamorized. But tell us, I mean, what was it? What do you think, for those girls who just want a baller, what is it that you did?
To be honest, like, Phil wasn't the first baller that tried to talk to me. And, you know, just being in the club environment, I always saw them, and I kind of saw their games that they played. And, you know, now that social media and, you know, it's so easy to really, like, people are so accessible now. I feel like it's easier to know and see what kind of guys are now. But back then, you really just didn't know. But being in that environment and seeing, you know, football players, basketball players, I just kind of knew, like, you can't just, you know, jump at the first guy that talks to you because he plays ball. You know, you just can't do that. So I think definitely it helped in my case to, like, take it slow and, you know, not get excited because, oh, he plays ball. You know what I mean? And I think I take note of that too.
And also one thing that you did was you made him, or not made him, but I guess it was natural for him to make the effort.
Right. That was very important. I mean, you know, a lot of things come easy for them now that they're like the star. So the last thing I'm going to do is make myself easy, you know, for him. So he definitely showed me that, you know, he wanted to pursue me, and that's exactly what he did. So that really, you know, stuck with me, and, you know, it's why we married now.
The pursuit. God, it's the chase, right? Exactly. You want the challenge. You want to not be easily accessible. And that was you. So he came back and forth to Tuskegee to see you. You then, did you graduate from Tuskegee?
Yes, I graduated from Tuskegee in 2010. And then I actually just ended up being in Indianapolis with him for the majority of the time. Mm-hmm. But I will say that lifestyle didn't fit me the way I thought it would. Just being, you know, his girl up under him. So I decided to start modeling. And
so hold on. So when you say that lifestyle, for our audience, what does that lifestyle mean?
Well, like you said, people think it's so glamorous just dating an athlete. But at the end of the day, it's when you're just in a completely new city with no family, no friends, you really are just catering to that guy and his game, his sport. So everything was wrapped around, you know, when he had practice, when he came home, what he was going to eat, you know, getting his massages scheduled. And, you know, I just, it was nice, you know, but I wasn't being fulfilled in that way that I needed to be. I wasn't getting the things done that I needed to get done for myself. So I had been modeling on and off, through college and, a little bit in high school. And so I decided to get up with one of my old managers, and she got me signed with one of the top agencies in Chicago. And Chicago is not too far from Indianapolis. So it kind of just worked out. I would just go back and forth from Chicago and Indianapolis, just working like that. And that just gave me a little bit more of the fulfillment that I was looking for. Just being, an athlete's girlfriend, it didn't do it for me. So,
and that's great that you say that, because it gives some perspective. It's not always going out to lunch, with the girls. And for like you said, for a lot of girls, you're coming to a new city.
yeah,
You meet these girls, but the reality is you don't always have a whole lot in common.
Right.
Aside from the fact that your man plays on the same team as her man.
And another thing is that a lot of people, you may get to see a little bit of it on WAGs now on the show, but the wives were not friendly to the girlfriends. So, here I am. I was 20, 21. I was 20 when I met Phil. And so they just see me as this young little girl who probably won't be here tomorrow. So they weren't very friendly to me. I didn't get invited to all the lunches and the brunches and the Bible studies and all that I would have loved to be a part of. But no, they would barely.
In defense of the wives, and when you're coming to a new team, guys, if you're just joining us, we have Ashley Nicole from WAGs Miami joining us for Set Real Talk Tuesday. We're talking about, she said that when you come to the team, a lot of the wives are not welcoming,
right,
and as friendly. And
right.
And we see now, we had an example on WAGs Miami where there was someone engaged, and then the engagement was broken off. And now that guy has since moved on, and she's moved on. Beautiful people. But at the end of the day, you just never know if the guy is going to end up with that particular woman.
Right.
So it's hard to forge friendships and become close when, like you said, they may not be there next season.
Right. It's really unfortunate, though, because at the end of the day, we're all there for one reason, and that's, to support our guys. So I think just off of that, it would be nice if people are a little bit more open. You know what I mean? Even if you don't know if they're going to be here or not,
That's
just
cool.
have, somebody just say hello. How are you?
Wow. It was that cold in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those players, they had been there for a while. It was a great team. That was back in the Peyton Manning days. So, they had built their whole, camaraderie. They were a tight family. And, there were a couple here and there who were nice to me. I'm not going to lie. And I'm still friends with them to this day. But I do remember the ones who, they weren't so friendly to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I've heard this story, from other girls. And I guess it's just a part of paying your dues. But I think that's something that we could change in, our community for sure.
Nice. Well, you know what? I agree with you. And those of you guys that are just tuning in for Set Real Talk Tuesday, we have Ashley Nicole. We're talking about, coming to a new team. You wanted to have more. You wanted some fulfillment. She's saying that she started modeling. For those that think this is just a glamorous life of being a wife or girlfriend of a professional athlete, there's a lot of downtime. Right. And as you said, waiting on him to come home from practice, or scheduling massages, and because for them it's all about, in season, it's all about the next game, the next play. And for the girlfriends or the wives, while you're there, you are either catering to them, or for some that are really, in your case, really smart and have something that you want to pursue, modeling or career, you make that your focus.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely important to, not get lost in it, because it's not yours. It's his. It's his dream that he's fulfilling. So, he could be a great player all day, but at the end of the day, you're still going to want something to fulfill yourself. And he's not going to play that sport forever either. So, you know, you need to be confident in what you have going on so that when his career ends, you know, you're both not stuck looking at each other like, what now? You know, he needs
and
somebody.
that's key. Whether
strong.
your man is playing a sport or not, finding fulfillment for yourself.
Right.
I think that a lot of times relationships have rocky times when somebody is not being fulfilled.
Right. I
You
agree.
know? And so an idle mind becomes a devil's workshop. And so you can become annoying. You can become that one that is nagging because you really are not busy.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think guys want to see us, you know, going out there and getting ours too. I think, you know, I mean, they want to be supported, but I think they also want to see that, you know, you're not just depending on them. You know what I mean? I think a lot of athletes these days feel like, you know, they're like a target, and girls are just waiting for them to snatch, you know, to get snatched up and taken care of for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? But I think it's a turn on for a guy to see that you got it going on, and you know, you don't need, you know, him to take care of you. You have your own stuff going on.
Very true. So get some business. For you end up modeling. You're going back and forth to Chicago from Indianapolis as he's playing, and then you end up moving.
Yes, so he ended up switching teams. He went to Oakland after that. And again, you know, I love being there to support him, but I decided to go to LA.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I don't think there's a lot of modeling opportunities in Oakland, but I'm gonna be right down the street in LA. So that was another, you know, independent, you know, move that I made for myself. Like, I just want to, you know, I still love you. I'm still going to support you. I'll still come see you, but I need to do this for myself. So to further my career, I decided to go to LA, and I signed with some agencies there, and I worked there for about a year or so. And he was in Oakland just for a year. So it kind of worked out. After that, he ended up coming to Miami, and in between that time frame, that's when I got pregnant. Okay. So that kind of changed everything for us both.
So would you say that it changed? Okay, so, you know, babies are a blessing, and you have Deuce. Do you feel like it changed it for the better, or did it cause stress on your relationship?
It definitely did both, to be honest. It was very stressful just in general with my own family. You know, I was definitely raised that you do things in a certain order, and
meaning you get married first and then you have children.
And then you have children. Yeah. I mean, but at this point, we had been together for like 6 years. So, I mean, I knew he was who I wanted to be with, and having a child with him really wasn't stressing me out. I mean, I wouldn't have sex with somebody I wouldn't want to have a child with. So that really wasn't the thing. But it was just, you know, it really was hard on me to disappoint my family in that way. And I think a lot of that stress poured over into our relationship, and he was on a new team, and, you know, I didn't want to stress him out, but I was stressed out, and I was pregnant. And again, I'm in a new city, and I don't know anybody, and I don't have anybody to vent to because my family's mad at me, and I don't have any friends to talk to. So I'm like, well, you got to listen because I don't have anybody else to talk to. And he's like, well, I got this playbook that I got to learn. I don't got time to listen to you cry. Like, you're going to have a baby. That's it. Like, yeah. So, you know, it was a lot, but I think it made us stronger in the end.
So when you say a lot, let me clarify. Yes. You're in a new city, because I know you guys that are watching that are like, oh my gosh, how can it be a lot? You don't want for anything. You know, you can sit up, decorate your house, girl, go do a baby room, or, you know. So when you say a lot, meaning here you are, he's in a new city, you don't know if he'll be there the following year. You want to have roots somewhere.
Right.
And then you're with child, and your family isn't happy, and you're not married. And are you thinking, are we going to be together, or what?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, my mind was everywhere. I mean, I wasn't planning on moving to Miami with him and just being in Miami. I mean, I had started my modeling career in LA. And so that completely just, obviously I can't model if I'm pregnant. And I don't want to be all the way across the country, you know, with my child. So of course I have to move. And then also I didn't want to pressure him into like wanting to get married, but it was kind of a natural thing for me to be like, well, let's just get married because my parents are on me about it, you know, so that did bring a lot of stress. And
so ladies, how many can you relate? Drop a comment. You know, if you happen to get pregnant, you're naturally going to think, okay, what are we doing here?
Right. But I'm so glad we didn't get married just because I had a baby, because we weren't ready yet. At least I know I wasn't ready yet. I was totally immature, very selfish into myself. And I just didn't look at the bigger picture of things. And I think that's where me and Phil balance each other out, because he's very much a thinker.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks it all the way through. And he just made me really confident in, you know, just any kind of decision making that we have. He's just very confident in it. And I'm starting to pick up on that. And just learning not to pressure myself and let other things and what's going on and what people say pressure me. Mm-hmm. So it definitely made us stronger. And, you know, I know people who've gotten married because, you know, they have babies and it doesn't really turn out very well a lot of the time. So I'm just thankful that we are where we are now. And I'm thankful that we took the time that we needed to get to where we are now. My family's happy. They're like so supportive of us. So, you know, it just took time for everything to fall into place, and life can
Here you are with a beautiful baby boy, Deuce.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so how in the world, you're in Miami now, you're pregnant, you have the baby, you guys are taking the time to really grow individually and collectively, and then WAGS comes along.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy because me and my friends, we were on the Miami Dolphins for a little while, and we had a nice group of girls. We were all hanging out, having a good time, and we always used to joke and say, hey, you know, we should be on TV because like you can't make this stuff up. Like the stuff that happens, like you really just can't. And so we just used to say that all the time. And then next thing you know, we got emails about, you know, casting for this show. And I didn't believe it at first because I told the casting director she needed to be fired because her social media was dead. But she was like this Emmy nominated casting director and all this stuff. But she had like 2 followers. So I was like, girl, I started not to even write you back.
But you know what? That's so funny that you say that. Guys that are just joining us, we have Ashley Nicole from WAGS Miami on E telling us, we're talking about how she got on WAGS. You know, a lot of people that are super busy are not focused on social media.
Right. I see that because her social media was dry and I was like, this is spam. Next. No, I'm not paying this any attention. So I didn't write her back or anything. And then I think she wrote me again. And I talked to like one of my old managers about it. And she was just like, well, just see what she's talking about. Because, you know, if she ain't talking right, then you just don't worry about it. So I was like, all right. So we talked on the phone and we had this amazing conversation. And I was sold. She did her job. I see why she got an Emmy because I was like, I can be on TV. Yes. What you want me to just say? I can do, okay, whatever you want. Okay. Like, it just sounded so great the way she was, you know, describing it. And, you know, next thing you know, she's like, do you know any other girls? And I'm like, yeah, I got a whole gang of them. That'll be perfect. So that's kind of how it all started. And next thing you know, they flew us out to LA and we were filming.
So question, because a lot of women, those of you guys that are watching, you yourself might be a wife or a girlfriend of an athlete, and you're thinking about doing reality TV. And we all know that all the networks are different, right? So what made you say, you know, I want to do this? what factors did you consider? And then the fact that a lot of people say reality TV can affect your relationship.
Oh yeah, so I definitely thought about all of that. Well, first of all, the fact that it was on the E Network really kept my attention, just because their shows tend to be a little bit more, let's see, like less urban,
Okay.
and they just are a little bit more clean. I like the way their shows are. And then just the fact that they were
So let's
really,
clarify. When you say less urban, you feel like less what or more what? Because urban is it. People want to, associate and affiliate with urban. So explain, did you feel like it may be less fighting, or what you might see might be a cleaner storyline, or what?
okay, yeah, maybe urban wasn't a good word. Okay, so they're just like not so negative, more supportive. They were very in tune, like what we had going on as women, and they didn't want to put the spotlight just on our guys. They wanted to highlight, what we had going on as women, behind these athletes. They were very well in the beginning. They told us that it's not going to be like fighting and stuff like that.
That's where that was going to be my line of questioning, because most of the reality shows that we see, it ends up being fighting and arguing, and what we really want to know is, who are you? And I know a lot of people don't want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. They always, I think they have to tell you, like, no, there's not going to be any fighting.
To get you, right?
Right. But there has to be drama in all reality TV. Like, you can't just have a show with, just everybody getting along and no conflict. Like, there has to be conflict. So I guess it just depends on, who you cast as far as how far that's gonna go. But I just really like the concept of the show, to be honest. They were really saying, like, we really want to highlight what the women have going on, and we want to show that it's not just a glamorous life. We want to show like your everyday struggles, or your what you have going on. So I that really is what made me want to join the show.
So from the time that you joined up to now, what do you feel like it's done for you? And it's been, how many seasons in are we for Wags Miami?
For Wags Miami, we just completed our second season. It just finished airing this fall. And we're hoping for season 3, but we don't know yet. So that's, I don't know.
To be determined.
Yeah. But wait, what was your other question?
What has it done for you? Like, since being on the show, do you feel like, has it been positive, or do you feel like you have been exposed in any kind of ways?
Yeah, so for me, I wasn't expecting it, but it really made me see myself in, a different way. Right. And I'm very thankful for that. I feel like it's made me just more conscious about, the things that I say and how I act and react to people.
So how were you before?
Before, I think I come off very like, okay, well, in my mind, I think I'm coming off just kind of like nothing bothers me. Just like nothing, I don't really let things get to me, but it was coming off like I didn't care about anything. I thought I was just being like a strong woman. I don't really nag and complain about stuff, but I think it was coming off as like she doesn't care about anything, except for herself. And I don't really like that. Wasn't good for me. So, yeah, it just showed me things about myself that I hadn't seen before.
So when you say that you came off that you didn't care about anything, do you feel like maybe as the filming went on, you became more maybe vulnerable, or showed that you cared more?
Yeah, for sure. I think I show my feelings more. I show my emotions more. I'm more compassionate. I try to not react so quickly, just kind of take things in and think about them a little bit more instead of just, my knee-jerk reaction. And I also think it's given me a great platform. And I mean, I like to show that I'm not perfect, and what you see on Instagram isn't, everything. There's more to it. So I'm glad that the show shows like those struggles that we have. I don't know if you've seen like the past episodes or whatever, but well, this past season I got married, and everybody knows like there's always some kind of drama, when you're planning a wedding and you're about to get married. And I definitely had my share. So I'm glad that, that could be seen. It wasn't just the pretty pictures that you see on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely have my issues too. And it's also given me the opportunity to start my own business and do something
really quickly though, of course, I have to plug, because you guys are watching Set Real Talk Tuesday with Ashley Nicole from WAGS Miami on E. Ashley gave us the opportunity to speak to her for our Set Weddings edition. And you guys will be able to read more about that on setmagazine.com tomorrow. But Ashley, you also have your hair care line, which you're talking about. So Ashley.
Yes, so I just started my hair care line this past June. And I really just decided to start it because everybody since the show started, really before the show, but once I got on the show, of course, everybody kept reaching out to me. What do you put in your hair? What do you do? My hair this is gym hair. It's definitely washed day to day. But, everybody's always asking me, what do you put in your hair and what's your hair regimen? And, I was constantly, throwing out millions of different names of products and trying to, tell people which exact ones to use. And I was like, this is getting too complicated. Mm-hmm. Let me just make it a little bit, because there's so many different products in the market right now. And I was like, how can I just make this simple? Something that everybody can use that, at the end of the day, hair is hair and it's going to need, certain things. Yeah. So I was like, let me just do it. And I came up with this line. It's called Ashley Hair Care, and it has everything that you need from start to finish. So from shampoo all the way to your styling serums, it's got you covered. But
I can say, guys, I have tried the line. My baby girl has used it. She said, "Oh, mommy, this smells like lemonade. It's like pink lemonade. It smells great. It definitely nourishes your hair." So I want to say, that just from concept to when we got it, your packaging was amazing, presentation. So order it. Go to, what's the website?
It's AshayHaircare.com, and that's ASHE haircare.com.
Yeah, so we got to support Tuskegee grad here with her own hair care line. Now, did you have the formulation of these shampoos and conditioners, and you have a mask and the serum that, just a dab will do you to keep you shining and with a sheen. Who came up with these ingredients?
So I actually worked with the chemist, and she actually made it. I thought it was going to be crazy hard, but she was like, just tell me, like, what do you like? The products that you use, what do you like? And I said, I always gravitate to products that have argan oil, that are, sulfate free, paraben free, no alcohol, things like that. So she just kind of took the things that I love, and, we just kept trying different versions of it until we got what I wanted.
Nice.
So it really is. When you make things simple, it's really nothing to it. I mean, there's so many, different things out there, but at the end of the day, hair needs boom, boom, boom. That's it. And that's what I did.
And so now you got girls out here flourishing with the locks, wanting to be like Ashley Nicole. I mean, I get it, and I'm appreciative just because you thought about it and you made it happen. And you were able to put it out there. So guys, go to AshayHaircare.com.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you guys liked it.
Yes. And if we didn't, I would have told you that too. So I don't
Oh,
want you guys to think,
thank
you
for
know,
honesty.
hold,
Yes.
yes. So, you know, because one hand helps the other, you know, we want each other to improve. And guys, if there's something likewise that I'm doing that you bring it to my attention. I would have told you before we got on the interview, though. You know, I wouldn't have
Right.
but yes, would have let you know. So, guys, support and then to follow you. You know, we don't know if there's going to be a WAG season 3,
Right.
but we want to keep up with you. Where can we follow you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook?
So I'm Ashley Nicole on Twitter and Instagram, and on Snapchat I'm Ash3_Nicole because somebody stole my name.
Okay.
But yeah, and Ashley Nicole on Facebook.
All right. So we're going to keep up with you. You have a baby on the way.
Yes. Baby's due in June, so
Nice. You in June. So for the moms that are mompreneurs, that are wives, and that are trying to balance it all, how do you do it?
I just take it day by day. I try to have like the same, system in place every day, and a lot of times that doesn't work. But just for my sake, I try to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do first, second, third, and just in case something doesn't go plan, it's all right. I still have, in my head a plan that I'm going by, so it kind of just keeps my nerves in line.
So starting your day with, what you're going to do, being intentional with your day.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Just starting with getting up before everybody else in the morning, just making sure my son has his lunch packed and everything he needs and he's ready to go. That just makes the day go a lot smoother, I feel. So that's very important to me. Just, waking up before the rest of the house does and making sure everybody is set when they wake up. So it's not, Mommy, where's this? Ashley, where's this? That really helps a lot. But Phil, he's a big help, and I really couldn't do it without him, to be honest. He keeps me straight too. I'm a little cuckoo.
So for those of you guys that are seeking balance and juggling it all, it is possible because we're looking at Ashley Nicole, who is a mompreneur. She's a reality TV star, and she's juggling it, just being intentional with her day, getting up before everybody else, making sure you have a plan. It definitely can relieve some stress.
For sure.
Yeah. So what can we expect? What's next for you?
I'm just looking to expand my business, come out with more products. I have everybody on my tail asking me about cosmetics, so that might be in the near future. But honestly, right now I feel like, this is my busy time and I'm trying to take advantage of it. I'm on this TV show, so I'm trying to make the best of this, this platform. I'm having kids, so, I'm trying to make sure, I'm being the best mom I can be. I'm a newlywed, so, whatever I can do, with, counseling and going to church, I'm trying to do what I can to be a better wife. So just being better in all those little areas, I think this is like growth time for me.
Yeah. And one thing that I see is that when you're focused on personal growth and building your business and making sure that your babies are healthy and healthy mentally, have everything that they need physically and emotionally stable, you don't have time for a lot of the other drama and mess.
Right. That's very true. So, I think it's important that you focus on, the blessings that God's giving you. That way you don't have to worry about all the drama and the mess that's going on. You really are focusing on what at the end of the day means the most.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It was just an honor to have you joining us. To see having you, Tuskegee graduate, ROTC. She's an Army captain in the U.S. Army, so you serve.
Yes.
Wife.
Yes.
Her husband is now finishing his degree. He has 2 classes left.
Yeah.
You are there in Miami holding down the fort.
Yeah.
So much more to Ashley Nicole than we get to see on WAGS Miami.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything that you would like our viewers to know that they don't already know about you?
I just think that, I would like your viewers to know that, it is, you know, a great life being an athlete's wife, but there's so much more to us. And I think that WAGs is a great way to dig into that. But also, if you just take a moment and, you know, a lot of us, we're very friendly. If you want to write us on Instagram and, you know, DM us, ask us a question, because I'm pretty sure we've heard it all, seen it all. We don't mind writing back. Like, I'm very friendly. I might not come off that way, but I'm working on it. Yeah, like we're real humans.
Yes.
So yeah, just
She's
hit us
not
up.
gonna bite.
Right, exactly.
Hit her up, you know. And one thing that I love when I watch you and your story, aside from you just keeping it real and being comical at times, but we see you doing homework with Deuce,
Yeah.
you know, spending time with your friends, just being, you know, all around. It's those vulnerable moments that we see that give us more of a glimpse of who you really are. And I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. I love sharing. I feel says I share too much, but I love it.
That's the
So
platform you created. So if you hold back now, we'll be like, okay, wait, hold on. So thank you for sharing. And you know what, guys? Drop a comment. Follow Ashley. She's ASH3 Nicole on Instagram and Twitter. She's Ashley Nicole on Facebook. And she's Ash3 _ Nicole on Snapchat.
You got that good,
Listen, I listen. So yes, and we're gonna grab more of your hair products.
Yes.
If you already got it for yourself, grab it as a gift for somebody else at AshayHaircare.com.
Yes.
Tag her so she knows that you got it.
Yes, please do. I repost you, please. Tag
Nice.
me.
Okay, so we'll do that. And Ashley, thank you again. Guys, we'll be back for Set Real Talk Tuesday next week, same time, same place. I am Danisha Roll, and I'm set.
And I'm Ashley Nicole, and I'm set.
Bye, guys. Have a great evening.
Bye.